Hey everyone, this is Nathan from the Lyrics.That.Matter Podcast. I just wanted to say that due to the copyright issues, we won't be able to play the songs in the podcast. So, if you guys want to listen along, there will be intermission periods that will show the song and the album. So, if you want to listen along, please pause the video and listen to the song on Spotify or YouTube. Thanks for listening and enjoy the podcast. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, dear listeners. My name is Nathan, and welcome to the Lyrics That Matter podcast. Today, I'm joined by my co-host. What's your name?
Moreno, hey yo.
This is Moreno Richie. Uh, this is the Lyrics That Matter podcast, and this is a creativity activity for the CAS cast for the IBDP program. This is the Lyrics That Matter podcast. And what we do here is that we're going to listen to rap albums, and specifically rap albums because I believe that they share the most about this world. These artists, they can portray and convey, and they can spread awareness as well as sending out global significance. So, Moreno, what artists are we reviewing today?
Of course, the most prominent figure right now in hip hop or rap, which is Kendrick Lamar.
What can you tell me about Kendrick Lamar, Moreno?
Before like the whole beef started between him and Drake, I've known him as like one of the most more conscious rappers in this era, and like he basically shows and conveys his story through his music, which is of course like interesting because it's like very unique.
Uh, I've as long as I've known you as a Kendrick fan. I know that you've listened to Kendrick a lot, and in fact, when I first met you, you've been listening to him and been talking about him nonstop. Uh,
Before the beef,
before the beef, before the beef,
I don't even know about him right now.
if you guys did not know, Kendrick Lamar recently had not recently, it was last year, but he actually had some sort of rap war where he went song for song with Drake. And people are saying that he's the winner because he released a song that's topping the Billboard charts, which is, what's the song name?
I don't want to say it, bro. Nah, my favorite one is Meet the Grams, bro. That just ended the whole thing.
But the final nail in the coffin was Not Like Us, which is a generational song.
dude, dude, you can like listen to like anywhere like in the shops or supermarkets, and you can hear that thing just blasting out the speakers, bro.
I remember just trying to get to school and the radio was just blasting Not Like Us. But
Yeah,
we're not here to talk about Not Like Us, are we?
of course, we're going way more deeper than those followers who just like Kendrick versus the beef.
So, what album are we reviewing today?
Of course, one of his his blow up album, Good Kid, Mad City.
I love Good Kid, Mad City. So, Good Kid, Mad City is a very narratively driven and emotionally grounded album by Kendrick Lamar, and me and Moreno Richie here are going to listen to it. So, we're going to be listening to 7 songs in total. First, we have Shireen, aka Master Splinter's daughter. Second, we have B Word, Don't Kill My Vibe. Three,
Sorry, teachers.
Backseat Freestyle. Number 4, The Art of Peer Pressure. Number 5, Swimming Pools Drank. Number 6, Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst. And finally, I believe is the most popular song from Good Kid, Mad City, which is Mad City itself. So, without further ado, let's start listening.
But wait, Nathan, before that,
Of course.
I would like to give a context to this album, which, according to some like documentaries or like videos analyzing this album,
Uh huh.
this is like a art medium through a movie. So basically, we have like these movie like type of aesthetics, like narrating and everything. So that's
Uh-huh.
just something interesting that Kendrick applies in this album. In this album, so
I've
this is
known
continue.
Kendrick as an artist for a long time, and I feel like his art forms through music and his music videos can be seen throughout like his entire discography, and I'm extremely excited. Are you excited?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
All
It's
right.
Kendrick.
Of course, it's Kendrick. All right. We're going to be listening to the first song now.
Sure.
Shireen, aka Master Splinter's daughter. Wow. Uh, I'm gonna be honest. That was my first time listening to that song. I've only been blasting Mad City. That's the only song I've listened to from this album. How many times have you listened to this album, Moreno?
Like 5 times at least in
so,
total, if I count.
so you already do. I'm sure you've looked at this like analytically before. You've listened to the first song analytically.
Yeah, yeah, of course,
All right.
of
So,
course, of course,
well, first off, before we go into the analytical stuff, uh, what do you think of the first song, Moreno?
dude. The, at the first, like, at my first time just listening to this whole album, this song is like, in my opinion, or like one of the most underrated ones. It's a really good start for the
Uh
album,
huh.
and
Uh huh.
like, and it gives like the context of what I was just saying last time, which is in the medium of a movie, and you can see like how everything like was going around and how Kendrick described
Uh huh.
everything, and
Uh
like
huh.
at the end the dialogue that the mom and dad had to Kendrick. So
You know, this isn't related to the analysis part, but I heard that I'm pretty sure his dad called him Yak, or
yes,
something like that.
yes.
Why does he call Kendrick Yak or Yak?
Usually it's just Compton slang or like just the the s- the like origin. I don't even know also about yak because this is also like a surprising word that I haven't like I'm not like familiar in the album because it turns out that's something that I didn't realize. But there's like an overall story behind that yak, and like it's mostly like something that is more like an insulting term for Kendrick from
Uh
Kenny to
huh.
Kendrick.
So, uh, let's start with the title first. Shireen. Shireen is the name of a girl, right?
Of course, yeah.
Shireen is the name of a girl, and if I'm not wrong, what I know from this album is that it's about Kendrick and how he gets lured by a girl named Shireen.
Yes.
Can you tell me more about that? Because I'm not really
So
familiar.
uh as a kid who grew up in the Compton area,
Uh huh.
of course there'll be like many like temptations as
Uh huh.
for the young Kendrick who of
Mm-hmm.
course is living his lifestyle as the constant like
Uh
hood
huh.
or hood like lifestyle again.
Uh
And somehow he met this girl named Shireen,
huh.
and like as you can see in the start, there is a prayer,
Uh
a
huh.
dear heavenly Father prayer,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
don't want to spoil anyone. It's just I'm just gonna say it's gonna be really important to the story
Uh huh.
and how this interaction between Kendrick and Shireen can be counted as, of course, lust,
Of course.
as in Kendrick liking this girl for different motives,
Uh huh.
like her 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 private parts or her body, and
Of
even
course.
even crashing his car just by seeing her pictures.
Uh huh.
So it's just a good start on saying like how Kendrick is very obsessed with this girl, even taking their family's own van to the girl.
Uh huh. I'll take the wheel here now. So, through my analytical lens, I can see that this girl Shireen that you've already described as lust, I think that she can symbolize something like temptation in that street life, and she can also use. I think Kendrick uses this girl as a narrative device, and she uses it to highlight the toxic aspect of crime, sex, and reputation in Compton. And I think this is also reflected by the song's mood because it's some sort of dark backstory, and the minor keys and the very echoey, the reverb. I don't know about you, but I felt extremely paranoid when I was listening to that. This is
For me,
definitely. Oh, this.
nah,
Oh, no, I'll let you go. I'll let you go. I'll
I'm
let you
sorry
go.
for I'm sorry for interrupting you there.
No,
Now I'm
no,
just
it's
saying
okay.
like for me it's more into like a more threatening feel. You know, like
Uh
there's
huh.
gonna be something coming up. You know, as like you gotta kids gotta relate to this. Like when you visit home late, like
Uh huh.
just hanging out with your friends without telling your parents, they'll be like, of course, really like angry or furious. That's why like
Uh huh.
this can be also like relatable to the people, which can be shown through Kendrick's own misbehavior as a teenager.
Uh huh. This is definitely told, like you already said, teenager. It's told by Kendrick's young self, and um, when you're in the stage, when you're in that stage of youth, you'll be susceptible to a lot of things. You'll easily be influenced by a lot of stuff, and I think that's the global significance that Kendrick is trying to spread here. It's the allure of risky relationships and these surroundings filled with crime that is relatable to youth in these underprivileged communities. And this song shares really prominent themes of identity and peer pressure. And I think that this cycle of poverty and this factor of fear, I think it adds. I think how Kendrick implements these elements into the first song of the album, which is like your first impression of the album. I think it's done wonderfully. What do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree with your statement there. Yeah, it's like a big like like it's like a huge achievement for Kendrick to just being able to just create that introduction and just start a narrative to his life and content. So
All right, so now we're done with that. We're already past like 6 minutes with that song, but it's all right. Uh, what we're going to be discussing now is the next song, which is B word, don't kill my
don't kill
vibe.
my vibe.
All right, let's listen. Wait, that was actually crazy.
Yeah,
Wait, that immediately built onto the other song. What the?
yeah, exactly, exactly.
uh, okay. So, first impression, first impression. Wait, you already listened to this song before?
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
wow. I did not expect a song like that for this album. I'm not gonna lie. Like, uh, at the start, like the introduction, I already thought like this album was gonna be melancholic. It was going to be dark. It was going to be edgy. But no, after that, it's like some sort of like spike. Like okay, the mood has changed completely the from the dangers of street life to you know this song. So, what do you think, Reno? What do you think?
For me, this song is like one of my personal favorite songs in this album because it's like the vibe overall of the song. Like I like at the start of my listen to Good Kid, Mad City, the first song like that that made me like more attracted to this album is of course "Be Don't Kill My Vibe" because it's just
Of course.
the whole like production and everything is just beautiful and like
Mm-hmm.
it also correlates with like the first song which like basically contradicts with one another.
Uh huh. So, let's start thinking analytically. So, Moreno, you've listened to the song more than me. You definitely listened to
Yep.
this album 5 times more than me. Uh,
Yeah.
from your prior knowledge of Kendrick Lamar, what do you think? What do you think of this song?
So this song personally it has this contradiction basically again because of the first song stating that he is getting attracted to this girl, but this song like had a new uh turns out like this song showed that Kendrick had a realization already that this girl is like she's doubting if this girl is really worth the obsession, you know? Because
Oh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Continue.
that's why he said like I can feel the changes. So like he understands that he acknowledged that everything around him, even in like his own personal life and in Compton's standpoint, is changing throughout. And he already admitted to himself, to God, that he is a sinner, which he said, I am a sinner, who's probably gonna sin again. So he's basically knowing his fate in Compton through, of course, Shireen, and probably like shootings or any gang violence or gang activities, which is really profound.
Dude, I'm so glad that I'm getting to listen to this song with you because after like your explanation, I feel like Kendrick in this song. Clearly, he's experiencing some sort of epiphany, and after like the street life with this woman, he feels this realization that he doesn't want to live that life, and the title is directly addressing the woman in the other song, Shireen. But now that he just sees her as just another roadblock in his growth, B word is referring to her and don't kill my vibe. And it can be interpreted as like in literally as like don't kill my mood. But in the metaphorical sense that Kendrick is trying to portray, he's saying to not derail my purpose. He's saying don't derail my growth. I can feel the changes. I am a sinner. He's repenting. And he's agreeing that he might do it again. But this incident, this epiphany will stop him from doing it again. And I feel like this is a strong song to spread awareness of perseverance. How I think uh, from the beginning of the song and the many implications of the biblical and religious aspect, through God, you can escape anything. You can escape through poverty. You can escape through that bad life that you're experiencing, and through God, you can achieve anything because He will be the one to help you with your purpose or your growth. But it also relies within yourself inside if you're willing to repent and if you're willing to stop the bad things that you are doing right now. Dude, that song was amazing.
You know what?
Yeah?
You know what?
Yeah?
Personally, I've heard I've heard of many documentaries saying this, but I think I also agree with them. They're saying this
Uh-huh.
song is basically like the division and like uh difference between Kendrick's own talent in rapping
Mm-hmm.
to his struggles in Compton and trying
Uh-huh.
to like find a spot for him, and
Uh-huh.
while like trying to avoid this gang life. And like this that's why the album name is Good Kid, Mad City in the first place. He's Kendrick is that good kid. He is trying to raise to his fame in rap, but through the mad city of Compton, he faces struggles and many like temptations in gang activities,
You know,
which interesting.
yeah, yeah. I'm so glad I have you. I'm so glad that I have you as my partner because I'm learning more stuff about Kendrick, and you're telling me this, and it just opens my mind to a lot of different perspectives. Now we're gonna move on to the next song, which directly like transitions uh from B word don't kill my vibe, and that's backseat freestyle. Ready?
Yep.
Let's go.
All my life I want money and power. I love that song, bro.
Oh my, that was such. I can see the buildup. I can see the buildup from the introduction being like dark, edgy, and then don't kill my vibe, escaping that. And then finally, we're at the peak. We're at the peak of Kendrick's ego and confidence. So, first of all, my first impression, it's another banger by Kendrick.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. I like
what
it.
what can I say about another one of Kendrick's songs? Kendrick has well, he's used his brain of lyrical genius to compose another great song. Um, Moreno, what do you think of this?
Yeah.
What do you think of this song?
Personally, again, this is like one of my favorite songs in this album,
Uh huh.
and like this like album basic this song basically like shows like Kendrick's talent, which I said again at Good Kid, Mad City, his talent in
Uh
rapping, which is his ego, and like how he can show off to his friends, rapping and freestyling off the bat in the beat.
All right, so we're gonna immediately go through the analytical aspect. Moreno Richie, you've been my Kendrick advisor throughout all this,
Yeah.
and in fact, I was planning on doing Kanye West as our next episode, but I just want to do Damn next. I just want to do Damn.
Damn,
I just want to do
it's
Damn.
a
All right,
commercially great.
analytical lens. What do you think, Moreno?
So this is just a quick fun fact, but
Uh
in
huh.
in the making of this song, Kendrick Lamar actually sampled one scene from the Powerpuff Girls. The sound that was from Powerpuff Girls. So that's something crazy to know because he was able to do that. And yeah, so this basically continues on the story of Good in B Don't Kill My Vibe,
Uh huh.
which at the end one of his friends said he got a CD that's like a beat basically, and he wants Kendrick to rap over it. And this, of course, makes Kendrick like very excited, and of course, he raps his full talent on that beat, just enjoying life, enjoying with his friends, being drunk and everything. So yeah, that's what I could say.
All right. You know, this song is clearly, well, this unfiltered ego with with that part in the ref when he's saying like he prays that his his thing gets
Yeah,
big as the Eiffel Tower so he can bang the world for 72 hours. This childlike, egotistical, almost maniacal. It's one of those pronunciations, but you can see that in his teenage years he has this aggression and excessive confidence, this violent pride, and these goals of materialism. And I think that, well, I can see two different things. I can see two different perspectives from this song. Well, the first one is, of course, Kendrick has escaped from the, well, he hasn't escaped from the Mad City. He's escaped the poor life, but essentially he has become the manifestation of the Mad City. He's violent, he's prideful, he's chaotic. And then there's also what I feel like what I see from this excessive confidence, and it's this some sort of escapism where like he's still incompetent, but his mind is outside of it, and through this escapism, he can find comfort or relaxation or even excitement in this mad city. And I think that's like the global significance of this is this aspect of toxic masculinity and ego culture where there's these young men, these young teenagers across the globe feel that feel this domination, this sexual conquest, this materialistic power, and this song captures that mindset perfectly. What do you think, Breno?
personally, of course, I agree. And like again, everything in this album is about Compton and
Uh-huh.
Kendrick's love and hate about Compton.
Mm.
But still, this is yeah. Again, this is the manifestation of Kendrick living his Compton lifestyle. So
All right. I think that's enough about. I think that's enough about backseat freestyle. The next song that we're going to be listening to is "The Art of Peer Pressure." another one of Kendrick's brilliant works. This is the first time I've listened to this song, and this might compare next to Mad City. But well, it's been a long time since I've listened to Mad City, so I don't remember how I feel about it. But this is another one of those songs where Kendrick has used his extremely talented and artistic mind, and he's portrayed another global problem through this song. What are your first impressions, or I guess fifth impressions of this song, Reno?
I just want to I just want to talk about like the analysis of this because like personally it's just full of like analyzing the whole like song and even the beat switch of from
Uh-huh.
having that
Of
nice
course.
atmosphere to that dark
Mm-hmm.
and like enrich like beat, which is like really like more of like a pressure, like pressure, which of course is in the song, peer
Uh-huh.
pressure.
So the song name is, of course, "The Art of Peer Pressure," and uh, Kendrick directly tells us that this is the main topic of the song. Reno, what do you get from this? What do you get from this song?
And what I found is basically a story in this whole song, which continues basically from Backstreet Freestyle because uh previously Backstreet Freestyle, we've seen that Kendrick was rapping freely and confidently with his friends, but suddenly the tone changed, and you can see now that they're just robbing a house and like
Uh-huh.
trying to evade from the cops. But
Mhm.
at that song, Kendrick doesn't really enjoy this type of activities and like really doesn't want to do it. But still, due to the peer pressure of his friends to join, he continued and and robbed someone's house.
So, I believe, well, I agree with everything that you said. You've outlined the overall story of the song, and well, I'm also here to bring you more deeper analysis. And the main question that was going through my head when I listened to this song was, what was the purpose of the beat switch? Because the beat switch, this is one of Kendrick's uh, most prominent, well, not most prominent, but his most well used authorial choice in his songs. And he wouldn't put there just for style, he would put there for a purpose. And I believe that purpose is to show that Kendrick has two sides in this album. He has two sides in this song. The side where he's egotistical, chaotic, prideful. It was in Backstreet, Backstreet Freestyle, as well as Don't Kill My Vibe. But after the beat switch, we see a more melancholic, a more almost sad, remorseful version of Kendrick, where this is his true feelings. He's a good kid inside, but he has to go through this mad city, and to survive it, he needs to live through this horrible environment through the support of his peers. But his peers have already been influenced by the mad city, so he has to wear this mask. He has to do all of these horrible things that he's not comfortable with. And I believe that stuff like this happens around the world, where the youth, the teens who are living in this horrible environment already. They're living in this dark environment with gangs and toxic communities, and they're forced to undergo this peer pressure. And it just shows how powerful peer pressure is itself. It's this overwhelming force that forces Kendrick to do these bad stuff. And it forces kids around the world to do these bad stuff as well. What do you think, Bruno?
Um, yeah, in my opinion, the beats were just really significant
Mm-hmm.
for this album for this song because of course, like through my experiences in rap, beat switches are prominent, like really prominent
Uh
for
huh.
trying to like emphasize something. And of course, Kendrick does it in a really well manner and like can base to his own like perspectives of his life
Mm-hmm.
and his friends from from Compton. So yeah, that's what I can say.
It shows that duality, right?
yeah, it shows that duality between those two.
All right. Now we're gonna go to the next song. Now, originally I was going to listen to Mad City, but I know that Mad City is well, Mad City is Mad City. It's the most popular song of Good Kid, Mad City, and it's in the name as well. So, the song that we're going to listen to instead of Mad City is Swimming Pools Drank, and I believe we're going to listen to the extended version.
Matter of fact, Swimming Pool is also one of his famous songs on that album. Same thing goes for, of course, Money Trees, because it blew up everywhere at TikTok, and now
You,
people just,
yeah, if I'm not wrong, it has 1.8 billion listens, and it's even
yeah,
more popular than Mad City actually. But
that's why.
I've decided to cut this one out because I didn't really see the global significance, and I just wanted to give other songs a try. So let's listen to Swimming Pools Drank extended version. I ride, you ride, man. Oh, suddenly we've jumped from escapism through egotistical and maniacal masks through alcohol abuse to alcohol abuse actually. First impressions, first impressions. This is another work of art by Kendrick. I wasn't really feeling this song. This is a club beat. This is definitely a club beat with like how well, I guess I wouldn't say hyper, but it's energetic and it feels exciting. And it's like this it has this beat where you can just sing along, you know? I wasn't really into it. What do you think, Moreno?
For me, like I've listened to this like a lot. Like
Uh
I'm just the only person who's just like okay with it. It's not like as like better as like, of course, like We Don't Kill My Vibe or like the
uh-huh.
Backseat Freestyle. So
Mhm.
it is. I love club music much as the next guy, but still like it's still like yeah, it's just okay for me for it for like a song like Swimming Pools, but it's good. Overall, it's just good.
So let's start with the analytical aspect. Um, you've listened to this song. I've listened to this song, but you know Kendrick more than me. What do you think of this song through the your analytical thinking, Reno?
In my opinion, I think this is very relevant with Shireen, who's in the story, and like on
Charade.
how it actually it gives context to what happened at the end of the song, which like
Mhm.
shows that homies have for each other, like friends have for each other in Compton, and like uh, which in context of like the previous songs,
Mhm.
Shireen has two older brothers who were just waiting for Kendrick in a van just to jump on him
Uh-huh.
because he is in a different side of Compton, which this can give more evidence, which his friend Dave shot one of the brothers and eventually also got killed. So that's what Kendrick is trying to say. Like his swimming pool, like uh, in Compton, of just alcohol, killing, and ignorance, basically.
So here's my thoughts. Alcohol is used as a substance, and it's also it's a substance for escapism, basically. And uh, well, it's of course very prominent. It's in fact it's the main topic of the song, and it's basically Kendrick's journey of how he's absorbed in this alcohol. And well, when people use alcohol to escape, it's also used for a relief of stress. And I believe that this also correlates back to Backstreet Freestyle and the other songs where Kendrick is being peer pressured, especially in the art of peer pressure, where he's wearing two masks. And sometimes this mask just gets heavier and heavier. The burden builds up. And when some people do find help, Kendrick is stuck in the mad city of Compton, and he has nowhere to turn to except the very dark and the unfortunate outcome where he overdoses himself through alcohol. And this is, of course, another problem, another global problem that deals with mental health, how the burden just builds up and his mental health deteriorates, how he tries to escape from it through the use of alcohol, and this is also seen in real life where there are people who escape through alcohol, and it's unfortunate that they have to do this escapism through such a dark method. What do you think, Bruno?
I pretty much also agree with what you said because, of course, alcohol is practically an addiction at this point, and
Uh huh.
Kendrick is using it to basically cope from like what he has now. And
Mm.
again, context of Shireen is like own temptation. So yeah,
All right, that's a good conclusion. That's a good end to swimming pools drank, especially the extended version that we listened to, where we get to listen to the outcome of Kendrick's alcohol overdose, where we listen to his friends dying, uh, other people getting shot, and stuff like that. So now we're gonna move on to the next song, which is what's the next song, Rhino?
um, according to the track list, it's
Sing About
um,
Me.
Sing
I'm
About Me,
Dying
I'm
of
Like
Thirst.
First. I just want to say that this song is really long, so
Really? Well, I'm
12
excited.
minutes long.
What?
12 minutes
12
long.
minutes? Okay, let's listen to it. Okay. Me personally, I wouldn't listen to this on a daily basis. Like, this is a must listen to when you're listening to the album because it's 12 minutes, for God's sake. It's the longest song on the album. But I definitely wouldn't listen to this even on a weekly basis. What did
This is
you
the most
think of the
beautiful.
song,
This is the most beautiful thing I've
bro?
heard in my
No, dude.
life. Dude,
This
this is the number one song in Good Kid, Mad City.
No, dude. That song took so long. That song took so long.
But it
It,
can't be repeated. It can't.
it can't be
Like,
repeated. It's like a once in a lifetime listen to. And
honestly, it's worth it. It's really worth it.
I'm still sitting here trying to piece together what I've listened to from the song, but it's such a long song, and I've already forgotten a lot of the message. So I'm
Oh,
gonna leave well, not all, but I'm gonna leave most of the analytical part to you, Brendel. Tell me, what's this song about?
okay. So there's so much to unpack. First is the first side. First is this like split between sing about me and I'm dying of thirst.
Uh huh.
So the first part, sing about me, started as, of course, this shot of Dave, his friend,
Uh huh.
and this song consists of three perspectives.
Uh huh.
Dave's brother. I'll explain this other one. Her name is Keisha's sister,
Uh
and
huh.
Kendrick
Uh huh.
himself. So first, Dave, Dave's brother, wants to seek revenge for the people that shot him.
Uh huh.
So he told Kendrick of how fond that he take cares of his brother and he appreciates that. But but he's still at that process when trying to seek revenge for his brother, which ended up of him dying in the process.
Hmm.
And the second perspective is from a sister from a girl named Keisha, which if anyone listens to Section 80, his first ever album,
Uh huh.
Kendrick's first ever album, it tells a story about a girl named Keisha who's a prostitute who lives the life of Compton at its fullest, but still, again, like Kendrick, wants to escape. But eventually, to make everything easier, she died.
Uh huh.
And she died due to, I forgot the reason, but she just died. And the last one, I know, and to give more context to that, her sister came up to Kendrick because he told that story in his album, and she doesn't want to let Kendrick tell her sister name in vain because she is also living the same life as her sister.
Uh huh.
She's also a prostitute, and she says that she'll never fade away because she will she will eventually escape this Compton life, but still
Mm-hmm.
all the money, benefits, and everything that she has as a prostitute will keep
Uh
coming to
huh.
her. That's why she faded towards the mad city of Compton. And the last and final one is the most important one is Kendrick and his perspective on life and death. These two events make Kendrick had this like full sudden like understanding of, oh, my friend has died, and he understands that the morality of Compton, and he was trying to run away from it, which he is dying from thirst. He's dying from thirst from the actions of Compton and the sins that he has committed in his teenage life. But at the end, that's why I said the first song in Shireen, that prayer was really important because that prayer is the reason why Kendrick and his friends repented from their sins and stopped living that content violent life. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the part at the end, it really signifies, it really connects with me as a person, as a Christian as well. Well, that last perspective that you talked about is Kendrick, as well as black and other black men from Compton, and they are trapped in this cycle of pain and revenge, and they're tired, like that one lyric, tired of running, tired of tumbling, tired of fussing, tired of dealing. It's just it just expresses this mental exhaustion, and they search for this redemption. And when this older woman, I'll assume is like some priest, and he prays over them using, what's the prayer's name?
Uh
The Lord's Prayer or something
the
like
Lord's
that.
Prayer, yep, yep.
And this connection, this interconnection with the spiritual aspect, and it just creates this need of transformation through faith. And I think that this song has significant global. It has a significant global aspect as, first off, it has a strong psychological impact of the of the urban violence, the underprivileged areas with gang violence, intergenerational violence, with a lack of mental health resources, and kids there are just desensitized of death. They don't fear it. It's just a normal part of their life now. And through this song, he gives voice to trauma and encourages this empathy for people who've been dehumanized in that media. And finally, I think he also talks about how, well, the role of faith and community healing, and that prayer at the end of the song, it reflects this universal, this global spiritual yearning or thirst, and this older woman's like injection of the Lord into their lives. It shows the importance of intergenerational wisdom, and it breaks the cycle of revenge where these kids are just killing and killing and killing. Well, that's enough for the emotional and moral core of Good Kid, Mad City. We're finally going to move on to the last, and I believe, well, it's not the most popular, but it's the most popular to me, and it sounds the best. We're going to listen to Mad City. Are you excited?
Madden Dog, where you from? I cannot say that.
All right, ready? Three, two, one. Let's begin. And that, dear listeners, is the end of the Mad City album. Mad City. Wow. Moreno, I've listened to this song, you've listened to this song, we've
Yup.
listened to it countless times, and I still get surprised and I still get energetic whenever I listen to it. What do you think, Moreno? What do you think of Mad City?
It's simply beautiful, and like it just really represents the the mad city that Kendrick just lives in, and like that he has been talking about for the whole album. And it actually shows like his background and everything, and also taking inspiration from like the NWA like synth styles that they
Uh huh.
use back in the 90s. And
Hmm.
it really is interesting to see that Kendrick like hones his respect for the older generations, and showing more of uh, a bold, like bold statement in Compton lifestyle. So
Me personally, I'm really glad that we picked this song as the last song that we're going to do because this song, this last song itself, it's it's the beat kicker. You know, we have
yeah,
a song like Money Trees, which is the most popular song of the album. It's like a feel good song, but this is the song that really gets clubs, parties, concerts going because it's so upbeat, it's so energetic, and the beat switch itself, it's just another majestic Kendrick. It's just another majestic Kendrick play. So let's put on our analytical lenses and see what we can find from this song. Reno, tell us through your analytical thinking, uh, what's Mad City about?
Mad City is basically just one word, Compton, and how the lifestyle influences Kendrick, and how he is like grateful yet also bound to this culture.
Mm-hmm.
And this can show like his like proper like representation of everything that he had, his on what he did with his friends, what he did throughout the music videos,
Uh
throughout the
huh.
music and everything. So
Uh huh.
yep, this is really like a bold statement, like really bold
Mm-hmm.
in out of all the all the songs in the album. So
Of course. Uh, Well, first off, the thing that I'll comment the first about this song is that it's the perfect embodiment of what Kendrick is trying to talk about, which is the Mad City. Mad City, of course, being Compton, and Compton being Kendrick's birthplace, and basically, um, the he's described it as an extremely chaotic, bad, uh, frankly, a horrible place to live to, and it's unfortunate that such a great rapper like Kendrick would had to live through something like this. But it's always the tough backgrounds that create the toughest people. Uh, well, first, some themes: childhood trauma, psychological damage. Like the first line, of course, it already brings us to something like this. If Paris and Crips all get along, they probably got me down by the end of the song. It's almost like a nursery rhyme, doesn't it? Or something? Doesn't it sound like a nursery rhyme, Renault?
yeah, yeah, it actually kind of does.
It shows how violence is like even normalized even among children. I mean, the rhythmical emphasis on that single line shows that it can reflect the post traumatic stress that you can experience growing up when you're living in a town that constantly has shootings and murder. And there's so many other different aspects of the song, like systemic and cynical violence, the disconnection, disassociation with mental health, with excessive drug abuse, and of course the role of the city, Compton, as a character. Like the city itself is mad. That's what Kendrick has been describing. Compton, this whole album. It's mentally unstable. It's aggressive. It's dangerous. And Compton becomes this just this representation of large urban suffering. And I think this brings the largest message in the world that it's not just Kendrick's town that's like this, it's everywhere. Urban violence, underprivileged towns everywhere. It's everywhere. Brazilian favelas, South African towns, and inner cities around London, Paris, or even the cities that we live in, Jakarta. It all experiences police brutality, gang violence, and just the disillusionment of youth. And of course, mental health in a mad city like this. Mad can be seen as something like madness under oppression, and it just shows stress, anxiety, and this emotional dissociation. And I think through this album, through this song, through the purpose of the song, he's trying to share that these communities do exist and they should be brought light and they should be paid attention to more. Do you agree, Moreno?
Yeah, I agree. And also, um, there is like a deep meaning between why he put like dots in the good kid, Mad City.
Uh
He
huh.
basically, to make it easy, I forgot what he said, but like, it's basically the surrounding between like how his adolescence and oh wait, no, now I I remember it now. So it's I just suddenly like remember it. So
Mm-hmm.
my angry adolescence divided is the standpoint uh for Matt, and it also stands for my angels on angel dust, which that's what Kendrick said in an interview. And in my opinion, the my angry adolescence divided is really shown in this
Mm-hmm.
album, and we can see his ignorance between what he has done and still, and my angels on angel dust, which angel dust means cocaine, of course,
Of course.
and his addiction again physically to like drugs, alcohol, and weed. So even cocaine. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. Now we listened to Mad City. Now we're going to move on to the conclusion. Well, dear listeners, that is the end of today's episode. Bruno, what do you think? What do you think of
Personally,
Mad City? Good Kid, Mad City.
personally, Good Kid, Mad City is one of like a staple for like Kendrick's career. But in my opinion, there's gonna be one more album that we're probably gonna mention. I'm not 100% sure, but it's literally the stable mark and timeline of hip hop. It's considered to be a stable timeline of hip hop, which is To Pimp a Butterfly.
Of course.
It's amazing, and this is also like an amazing album for Kendrick's start in his career, because this is what made him blow up. This is what made everybody recognize him. So it is very like extravagant for Kendrick to do this at such a young age, like a teenage in his teenage years.
Now, for you, dear listeners, this is how this podcast is going to work. Me and my friend here have already listened to an album through the intermission periods, and we've given our insights and our analysis. And through this, hopefully, well, we can hopefully better and support each other in our English analysis skills. Like me and Moreno, we're both using terms that we're unfamiliar with and applying them so that we can develop our critical thinking skills and analyze these different songs better. Now, uh, that marks the end of this episode. Do you have any final words, Mono?
Nixon 6.
uh, Thank you, dear listeners. We'll see you later. And remember, lyrics do matter. Thank you.
Thank you.
Extra post credit scene. Uh, Me and Moreno actually were supposed to rate the Mad City album out of 10. And yeah, we're just gonna do that now. So Moreno, what do you rate a Good Kid, Mad City?
Personally, I would rate Good Kid, Mad City as 8.5, because in my opinion, they did splendidly. But comparing with like the projects that they have right now, and like like more in a more present wise. I think they're more better, but still, it is a really good album.
To me, on the narrative side, well, this isn't Kendrick's strongest narrative work. Something like that would be To Pimp a Butterfly or even Damn. I would give this one a 7, and for personal enjoyment, I'd give it a 6. So a song like this would be a 6.5. That's it. Thank you.